Clint Walker, and you're watching GVTV News.
Thanks, Clint, and I'm Randy Hansen. In today's World News headlines, U.S. and Iran deny report of nuclear talks. In Wisconsin, gunman kills 3, self-estranged wife's workplace. Ahead of final debate, Obama chides opponent on amnesia. And clashes erupt in Lebanon following slaying of intelligence officials. And Israeli Navy seizes ship of Gaza-bound activists. And Chomsky says Gaza perseverance inspiring ship attack compounds Israel's diminishing legitimacy. And Hamas boycotts Palestinian municipal elections. And Kuwaiti police fire tear gas, stun grenades at protesters. And child dies in police crackdown on Panamanian protest. And George McGovern dies at 90. And federal judge blocks Arizona law targeting Planned Parenthood. GVTV News would like to say the views expressed on our news broadcast do not necessarily reflect the views of NCTV Digital Media Center. But before these stories, GVTV News would like to thank one of our underwriters who supports your only visual video news media in Nevada County. That's right, it's us, GVTV News. Today's first world news story, both the United States and Iran are denying claims of having reached an agreement in principle for direct one-on-one nuclear talks. New York Times reports Saturday the deal had been struck between U.S. diplomats and top Iranian officials, reporting that the Ayatollah Ali Khamenei to Iran is said to have asked that the talk be delayed until after the upcoming November election so they could know whom they'd be sitting down with. But in a statement, the White House said it's not true the United States and Iran have agreed on one-on-one talks or any meetings after the American election. And they say they haven't done either. Speaking, the Iranian Foreign Minister Ali Akbar Salehi said, "We don't have anything like discussions or negotiations with America. Yes, we have negotiations with the P5+1 group nations. It's about nuclear talks about going on with the P5+ nations. No discussions with the United States." News comes as Iran grapples with a plunging currency and growing internal hardship and facing crippling international sanctions. More broadly, Iran has proposed the establishment of nuclear-free Middle East, but that has all but ignored. A gunman killed 3 people and wounded 4 others at a Wisconsin spa on Sunday before taking his own life. The shooter, Radcliffe Houghton, had recently been put under restraining order and called upon to surrender his guns over a domestic violence case. All 3 of the dead victims were female, and one was reportedly Houghton's estranged wife. President Obama and Republican challenger Mitt Romney squared off in Boca Raton, Florida, and after a third and final debate discussed on foreign policy on the campaign trail in Virginia, Obama debuted a new dig at Romney, saying the opponent's alleged wavering on political stances can be explained as cases of amnesia. Obama said he's forgetting that his own positions are, and he's betting that you will too. I mean, he's changing up so much and backtracking and sidestepping. We've got to name this condition that he's going through. I think I'm going to call it amnesia. That's what it's called. Unrest has broken out in Lebanon following the assassination of a top intelligence official in a car bombing. Killing of Brigadier General Wissam al-Hassan prompted calls of Syrian involvement, leading to protests at the end of Hassan's funeral. On Sunday, militants traded fire in areas of southern Beirut hours after mourners tried to storm government offices. The Israeli Navy has seized a ship of Palestinian solidarity activists seeking to break the U.S.-backed siege in Gaza Strip. The Estelle was the latest boat attempting to reach the Gaza as part of the Freedom Flotilla coalition. On Saturday, Israeli Navy vessels surrounded the ship and deployed forces on board to seize passengers, taking them to a prison inside Israel. The passengers and crew were nationals from Canada, Israel, Norway, Sweden, and the United States. Hours before the Israel raid, ship organizer Matthias Gardel spoke to Democracy Now! Aboard the Estelle, and he said, "We are not breaking any laws. We are not the provocateurs. It is Israel that clearly violates international public law and decent human standards. They are provoking the world, and by doing so, by inviting the world to witness this crime against humanity, they are also presenting each and every one of us with a choice, either to choose to be part of a problem or choose to be part of the solution." Lawyer for the detained passengers has accused Israel of using taser weapons during the raid on the ship, saying Israel forces committed electrotorture. Israel has denied the claim. Author and professor Noam Chomsky has his first trip to the Gaza Strip over the weekend. Appeared at an academic conference. During his visit, Chomsky said he was inspired at witnessing how Palestinians survive under Israeli occupation, and later expressed solidarity with the detained Estelle passengers seeking to break the blockade. Noam Chomsky said, "My main impression is how inspiring it is to see people living under extreme duress, but nevertheless remain vibrant, vigorous, active, hopefully resilient, and continuing to struggle. I should say that every time Israel stops a boat, that's another blow to its diminishing legitimacy and another element of support both for those who resist it internally and those who are opposing the policies outside, and sooner or later the wave will sweep over the barriers." In other news from occupied territories, Palestinians held their first vote in 6 years over the weekend round of municipal elections. The vote took place only in the West Bank as the governing Hamas movement held a boycott in Gaza following the breakdown of unity talks with the rival group Fatah. Police in Kuwait cracked down on Sunday on a crowd of thousands of protesters opposing the ruling monarchy affecting the change of electoral laws. The U.S.-backed Kuwaiti regime has stoked anger after dissolving parliament and proposing voting laws that opponents have described as constitutional coup. On Sunday, it is an estimated crowd of 50,000 gathered in the capital of Kuwait City in an attempt to march on government headquarters. At least 29 people had admitted to the hospital after police surrounded marchers and used tear gas and stun grenades to disperse them. Deadly protests have broken out in Panama over the sale of state-owned land within the duty-free area of Colón. On Friday, a 9-year-old boy was killed and several others were wounded when police opened fire on demonstrators who had burnt tires and thrown projectiles. The shooting prompted further rallies over the weekend. Professor and protest organizer Carlos Baltazar said the demonstrations would continue. He said, "We will continue with this peaceful event." The Front of Frente Amplio, or Colón's organization, does not want violence. The front wants the law to be repealed. The law has been approved irresponsibly. Unquote. Former South Dakota Senator and Democrat presidential nominee George McGovern has died at the age of 90. McGovern is best known for running against Richard Nixon in the 1972 presidential election on a platform of withdrawing U.S. troops from Vietnam. Memorial services are scheduled to begin on Thursday in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. And a federal judge has blocked a new state law in Arizona barring funding for the reproductive services group Planned Parenthood. The law bans the use of public funds for state or local government to contract with any organization that provides abortion as one of its services. Planned Parenthood of Arizona won a temporary injunction on Friday, extending a freeze on the law's implementation. Planned Parenthood has faced a crackdown in more than a dozen states, including Texas, which last week threatened to shut down a health program for low-income women rather than allow Planned Parenthood to remain involved. And that's it for World News today. Now we'd like to thank another one of our underwriters who supports your only visual video and news media in Nevada County. That's right, it's us, GVTV News.
Soundcheck Music Center, the Rock and Roll Connection. We have guitars, amps, drum equipment, sound accessories, lessons, and repairs. We are located at 671 Maltman Drive, Grass Valley. 530-272-7236, open 7 days a week.
No one needs anyone they don't even judge. just pretend. Jonas an American. I'm afraid of Americans. I'm afraid of the world. I'm afraid I can't help it. I'm afraid I can't. I'm afraid of Americans. I'm afraid of the world. I'm afraid I can't.
That's right, it's time for the police blotter, and pictures in the blotter not from these actual events, but used for visual aid only. These records are released from local law enforcement daily logs. Grass Valley Police Department on Tuesday, 8:50 a.m. A report was taken at Condon Park of a tree that had been cut down with a hatchet. At 9:49 a.m. a report was taken from 100 block of West Berry Hill Drive of vandalism to a vehicle. At 11:41 a.m. a report was taken from South Church Street of chalk hearts all over the sidewalk had made a mess. At 12:09 p.m. a report was taken from 700 block of South Auburn Street of vandalism to coin boxes. And 1:18 p.m. a report was taken from 200 block of Jaworski Drive of an ongoing issue with the drunken men telling little girls they love them. 1:35 p.m. a man from 800 block of Forest Glade Circle reported a man trespassed and threw garbage in a yard. And 4:59 p.m. a report was taken from Mill and Neal Street of transients drinking. 5:42 p.m. a woman from Eureka and 2nd Street reported vandalism to a vehicle. And 5:57 p.m. a report was taken from 600 block of Freeman Lane of a person left with a shopping cart full of groceries. And 6:54 p.m. a report was taken from South Church Street of a man possibly smoking meth who could not be located. How could you tell? Nevada County Sheriff's Office on Tuesday, 9:08 a.m. A report was taken from 17,000 block of Minnow Way of a residential burglary. At 9:10 a.m. a report was taken from 18,000 block of Norleen Way of a dog versus a raccoon. At 9:37 a.m. a report was taken from 15,000 block of Pleasant Valley Road of the theft of an iPhone. And at 10:13 a.m. a report was taken from Alta Sierra Drive attempting burglary with a person trying to unlock a door. And 10:45 a.m. a report was taken from 14,000 block of Blind Shady Road of theft of a firearm. And 11:20 a.m. a report was taken from 13,000 block of LeBar Meadow Roads of a loose emu, which was captured. 12:52 p.m. a report was taken from 16,000 block of Delmar Way of gunfire. 12:54 p.m. a report was taken from 14,000 block of Christopher Robin Way of a residential burglary. And 1:29 p.m. a report was taken from 21,000 block of Running Horse Road of an assault. And 1:31 p.m. a report was taken from Nevada City Highway of stolen check that had been cashed. And 2:14 p.m. a report was taken from Wolf Mountain Road and Sutherland Drive of a man looking in mailboxes. And 2:27 p.m. a report was taken from 16,000 block of Mountain View Drive of credit card fraud. And 4:06 p.m. a report was taken from Englebright Lake of being stranded in a boat. A fisherman helped him. 9 p.m. a report was taken from Gold Country Drive and Pleasant Valley Road of 2 gunshots. And 10:10 p.m. a report was taken from 16,000 block of Delmar Way of multiple gunshots and a woman screaming. A report was taken. And 10:12 p.m. a report was taken from Rolling Hills Court of a dispute with a man disabling a vehicle so a woman couldn't leave. She left with the children for the night. And 10:15 p.m. a report was taken from 10,000 block of Adam Avenue of gunshots. And 11:10 p.m. a report was taken from 12,000 block of Elm Court of multiple gunshots. And Wednesday, 12:04 a.m., a man from 16,000 block of McCourtney Road reported multiple dogs killing his sheep. He shot one but couldn't locate it. Nevada City Police Department on Thursday, 8:52 p.m., a woman from 500 block of East Broad Street reported a person trying to get in her residence. And Wednesday, 6:29 a.m., a report was taken from 200 block of Providence Mine Road of the theft of a laptop. And that's it for the Police Blotter today. Now we'd like to thank another one of our underwriters who supports your only visual video news media in Nevada County. That's right, it's us, GVTV News. Christopher's Old World Deli and Catering Company has brought its delicious food and service downtown Grass Valley. Like desserts? They got 'em. You like international style lunches? They got 'em. Christopher's Deli and Catering for parties, get-togethers, weddings, or whatever. Open 7 days a week. In local news headlines, local driver arrested for dangerous DUI wreck, and 2 arrested in same day for alleged car burglar. In today's first local story, last Thursday, a Nevada City man, Bobby Neal Cameron, 20, was arrested on suspicion of driving under the influence of drugs, booked into Wayne Brown Correctional Facility with a $25,000 bail. According to Grass Valley Police Sergeant Alex Gamelgard, local law enforcement had several reports of reckless driving, and as the police were responding to this report that an accident happened, according to the report, his SUV rear-ended and a red pickup truck at an intersection of East Main Street and Sierra College Boulevard. 70-year-old driver of the pickup was admitted to Sierra Nevada Memorial Hospital treating and released. Cameron's SUV during the speed had blown out a tire and he continued driving. This all happened in the middle of the day. Sometimes people just don't get it. According to Newsbreak and KNCO, a local man was arrested twice in the same day for the same thing. Although this is not uncommon in Nevada County, it is a little strange. First, a concerned citizen observed a man at Holiday Inn parking lot in downtown Grass Valley trying doors to several cars and trying to enter them. After calling 911, this concerned citizen engaged the man in idle conversation until the police arrived, according to GVPD Sergeant Steve Johnson. Arriving officer found that Brandon Michael Sinnock, 23, was on probation with search terms, and after search was found to have a needle and other drug paraphernalia in his pockets. He also had a small tool set that could be used as burglary tools. He was booked and released on a $3,000 bail. Several hours later, the same officer, still on duty, responded to a purse snatching from a car on 1200 block of East Main Street, and it was Sinnock at this scene. As he was under probation search terms, the officer searched him again, finding a sock with another needle and drug paraphernalia in it, and an ATM and Visa card with someone else's name on it. He also had a large brick on his waist belt that could be used for breaking glass. Witness allegedly positively ID'd Brandon Sinnock and also showed the officer where he tossed the purse. Sinnock was arrested the second time in the same day on suspicion of second-degree burglary, committing a felony while on bail, possession of a stolen property, petty theft, violating probation, concealing evidence, and possessing drug paraphernalia. With the bail set at $29,000 this time, and at this time of the story, he's still in Wayne's World. This rebuttal was written by Patricia Lee Anderson in the Grass Valley in the Union. In a recent Other Voice column, Miss Eubanks, staunch member of the Obama choir, criticized another columnist, Miss Simmons, for not having checked her facts. Eubank omitted some pertinent facts about Obama's administration. Obama has slashed our nuclear arsenal while potential enemies are expanding military power. He has brought a total cut to our defense of $1 trillion. He has removed the Americans from a global power, yet he increased overall spending in green technology. Eubanks does not mention Solandra. His whispered comments to Medvedev of Russia said, "After my election, I have flexibility," may imply that he intends to weaken us further. If Eubanks gets to interpret Obama, "you didn't build that" speech, I got to interpret Obama's remark to Russia's president when he thought the mic was off. Speaking of "you didn't build that" speech, what other interpretation can be given to this? That income from a business you did not build was not earned? It was not earned, then the government can justifiably seize that money? Obama attacks the rich. He calls them greedy and selfish, yet America's success is largely built on people who have made great achievements. People like Peter Cooper, who, without a formal education, created an empire in the 19th century and then donated millions back to the people. Success is a good thing, but Obama demonizes achievers. Success is a good thing, but Obama, well, that's what he does. Obama blocked oil drilling in the U.S. and delayed Keystone Pipeline project, yet financed Pemex with the American tax dollar in Mexico. How about his praise of drilling in Colombia and Brazil, but put a moratorium on the drilling in the U.S.? Talk about getting facts straight. America has vast resources of oil. America has pioneered hydraulic fracturing, but Obama has declared war against extracting natural gas. Obama has made it virtually impossible to build new coal power plants. He's causing existing coal plants to close and now has targeted fracking. Obama snubs our allies and helps our enemies by taking Palestinian side against our longtime ally Israel, removing Churchill's bust from the White House, angering Canada's Prime Minister with procrastination about the Keystone Pipeline, canceling anti-missile system plan for Poland and Czech Republic, using diplomatic pressure to oust America's longtime ally Hosni Mubarak, and clearing a way for Islamic radicals and Muslim Brotherhood, allying with the Tahrir protesters. Mr. Eubanks says that Obama put temporary moratorium on Gulf drilling because he wants time to investigate and ensure that it is not another oil spill, but she overlooks he doesn't mind financing oil drilling in Brazil. She also didn't mention that Brazil took our tax dollars given to them by U.S., then sold their oil to China. Blame it on Bush has been another mantra for 4 years with Obama. That old dog don't hunt, I say. Obama increasing debt has gone far and beyond Obama's debt, and Republican debts are so bad it's increasing to make it better. Eubanks says Obama inherited an economy that was losing 700,000 jobs a month, then had done to put Americans back to work. She says that Obama didn't nationalize the auto industry, but he didn't. She missed the fact that the government control over banking, healthcare, energy industry makes them less efficient than if run by private enterprise. Are you better off than you were 4 years ago? That's it for local news today. Now we'd like to thank another one of our underwriters, we'd like to thank Amy Goodman, Reuters, Associated Press, and others for the source of the news, and you for watching. You can watch this broadcast on Comcast Cable, NCTV Channel 11, and Nevada County at 8 a.m., 3 p.m., 7:30 p.m., Monday through Friday, Southern Link 16 in Truckee and Alta 10:30 Saturday, and 8 p.m. on Sunday. We stream on NCTV's Digital Media Center website, NevadaCountyTV.org and GVTV.org. And don't forget, Grass Valley Television plays 24/7 on the net at GrassValleyTelevision.com. We post to Facebook, YouTube, Blip.tv, and many other podcast sites, and have RSS feed and video podcast on iTunes. Just search under Video Podcast for GVTV News. Grass Valley Television also videotapes local events around Nevada County. If you have a need for video, you can contact us for more info, grassvalleytelevision@gmail.com, 530-362-8889. This show produced by Grass Valley Television of Rural County's television network. If you have any news, let us know. We hope you will keep tuned to our news season, as we are going to spice up the news in the future. Please email us with our ideas and comments. We'd like to hear from you, and like us on Facebook if you can. News player can be on your website. You can get the fresh news updated daily. Just use the embed code on YouTube or Blip TV site, and we'll talk to you on Friday.
Sentences. You guys have already been working a little bit with those. Remember that a topic sentence is always going to be the sentence that acts as a guide for your paragraph. It's usually the first or the last sentence in the paragraph, and you really want to craft this sentence as you work on your paragraphs to make sure that it says exactly what you want your paragraph to say, because all the sentences in your paragraph will point back to this topic sentence. They all need to be within that topic sentence. And if they don't fit, then you need to get rid of those sentences. I've given you some homework to work on from your text, the anchor text that we have, pages 48 to 58. You'll want to notice whether or not you think the topic sentences are descriptive enough and whether they have enough specific information in that topic sentence that really points to all the sentences within the paragraph. If it doesn't, then we can talk more about how the sentence could be revised to be a better topic sentence that would be more descriptive. So as you work on your own narrative paragraphs, you'll want to make sure that your topic sentences and all the sentences within the paragraph really speak to your topic. If I wanted to compose a whole essay about my vacation over the summer when I went to Italy, then I would have several different paragraphs for the essay. And each paragraph would have a topic sentence, and each of those topic sentences would speak directly to the paragraph. So if I wanted to talk about a church I visited, my topic sentence should speak directly to that church. And I brought in a rough draft of a paragraph that I put together. This would be like if you, in your brainstorming exercises, if you guys decided to write about your vacation or someplace you visited or some hobby you have, this would be kind of a brainstorming session for you where you just write down your thoughts as they come to you. And they don't necessarily have any order, they don't necessarily all fit. As you go back and revise, then you'll find out which sentences work and which don't, and which ones can be revised to be better. And as you work on your topic sentences, then you'll also find out whether or not the topic sentence works for the paragraph. So let's get a volunteer to read our paragraph here out loud. Thank you, Lisa.
The beauty and grandeur of Duomo di Milano is astonishing. Before you even enter the doors, you're greeted by 135 spires reaching toward the sky. Tourists are everywhere. Maybe because it is a bright summer day, the pinkish-white marble gleams. Junky gift shops are all around the building. The cathedral was built by hundreds of years ago. Inside, stained glass windows depict scenes from the lives of the saints. The bus driver only gave us 20 minutes to see this incredible church. The cathedral is cross-shaped and has 8 naves. The naves are supported by 52 pillars, with statues on each pillar.
Great, thank you. So we've got our rough draft of our paragraph here, and who can tell me what the topic sentence is of this paragraph?
Bell Star Shop is a one of a kind on the ridge. Steaming hot coffee and a cool atmosphere with healthy food, organic desserts, and meals available. Belle and her smile will not be forgotten the first time you visit.